I'm Neal Brodsky, and welcome to the One Jewish Family podcast. Today we have Baye Tesfa, the Chazan in Addis Ababa for the Jewish community in Ethiopia, and Hadassah Gotlieb coming in from Jerusalem. Welcome, Baye, and welcome, Hadassah.
Thank you.
How would you like to start? What would you like to talk to us about today, Baye?
I just want to say about the current situation and the way we live in Ethiopia. That the community are just suffering for 22 years, and it is easy to tell by words, but to experience those 22 years is it's not easy. So within these 22 years, we just faced many troublesome. We lost a lot of family members or community members. A lot hungered and suffered in pain. So it was very difficult for us. In addition to this, just the corona also had some difficulties on the communities. So now it is almost impossible to just carry the burden. So for the community, it's very difficult. This case, nowadays it's very, very difficult. So just most of the community, they don't support themselves, because even in Israel there is the virus. So the family are not just sending enough money to support the community, the families that are left here in Addis and in Gondar. So the problem is very difficult.
So looking back, or looking for today, what can people listening to the podcast now, what can we do to support the Jewish community as it waits for Aliyah to Israel? God willing, that happens soon. What can we do to support you?
To tell the truth, the current situation of the community is very, very difficult, and so it is time to get help now. And we expected the government of Israel to support us, but unfortunately, just the government doesn't want to. Either doesn't want, or I don't know, just ignore the thing. But this time, it is the time that just we just need most. But it's not happening. So our family members in Israel just they just organized, being in group and collecting money, even if it is not enough for the whole community and for the whole family, but they send some to help, to contribute their own parts. But still, that's not the solution, and that's not enough to support the current situation. So this way, I think you can help this way. Mm-hmm. Because right. We need this. We need this time. We need.
So in the United States, struggle to save Ethiopian Jewry, NACOEJ, North American Conference on Ethiopian Jewry, is working to raise money, because we realize that people in Addis right now often are living in small situations, and the food is needed at this point, certainly for the children right now. And earlier you were talking to me about the children and how they learn Torah in Addis Ababa. And can you tell us again, what do they use to learn? Where do you find from the Torah portion each week? What materials do you use to teach them Torah?
And before we just use the Amharic version of the Bible, we use that one. No need, just we have no explanation. Even if we have questions, there is no one to explain what's happening there, what is what. So when I joined university, I had a great interest on Torah, so I just searched it a lot on internet. Just I found out the site, Harvard site. From there, I just learn each parasha, each week of the parasha. So I prepare on that. So on Shabbat we learn Chazan, and the youngsters also study the Amharic one, so that we can communicate easily. So that way we started, and we're learning this way. Now we already started. We have learned that one many times, so we are capable to remember without seeing the book. So now we just even if mentioning some from the parashat, and then we are learning now halakha.
Mm-hmm.
And halakha, some books I brought from Eretz Israel.
So, Baye, you went to Israel for a short period of time. What brought you to Israel, and what brought you back to Ethiopia?
Maybe I just take from Ethiopia to Israel the impression that the Ethiopian Jews want to learn, and they are really Jewish, that we are really Jews, and we are capable of learning. And but if we have some help and some books, even by ourselves, we read and we understand. So if we have rabbis, we will be great also. But from Israel to Ethiopia, I just bring a lot, many things which I can't explain. But the impression, the the land of Israel, which is very, very special.
What's one of the things you taught the kids about halakha? From your view, what's most important for them?
Halakha, just we start from the beginning, and now we are about chapter 90, 98, something like that. And we start from the beginning. The beginning starts when a Jew wakes up early in the morning, what he has to do. Just washing his hands, same old day, washing his hands, going to shuratim, and then tiflot. So everything we are learning. So these are very important for a Jew. So
Mm-hmm. So now, here we are, and it's almost Shabbat. What is it like for your family now around Shabbat? The synagogue right now, people cannot gather in the Corona period. So what does Shabbat look like in your house with your boys and your family? What's it like?
after Shabbat, as I told you, Chazanim, we go to synagogue, and after synagogue, the children, my wife and Kulam, all waiting for me. So we just make kiddush, and after kiddush we play, we sing, and it's very great. Shabbat it has very, very special space in our family, that we are just everybody looking for it.
So 22 years ago or so, your family moved to Addis. And where did they come from? What was it like to move to Addis? And what was it like for your family from the Jewish mountain village? Which village were they from, and what was it like when you were? Do you remember? You were young.
Yeah, I remember before 20 years, we were around Gondar and just a special name, Dembia, and there many Jews came from there, and it's very known place. And so when we just moved to Addis or some to Gondar, we thought we just make Aliyah easily. We don't think it will happen this way. Before when we came, our families came before many years ago, like my grandparents. But we can come that way. But we didn't think of it. We know they are moving, but we have no interest that way. At that time we have no interest. We had no interest. And now after some years later, we just eager to go to move. So we came here. We were not poor, to say. We are not poor. We had everything we need. And we sold everything, even cheaply. We sold it and we came. We came to the capital city and some to Gondar. But we thought we will move to, we can make easily area. That time when we come, we didn't think that to improve our life because we had everything we need there. If it is a matter of life, we had there. But after sometimes, after a year, 2 years, what we sold, the money that we have already ran out. So we faced the problem. So that way we became poor. We need just someone to help us. And 22 years passed this way. And now people, they are saying we want to make Aliyah to improve our life because our way of life is not good. It is because after we came here, and this is because people make us or keep us here. So anyone who is in our shoes can face this way and can even need help. So it's not a surprise to need help this way because we are deprived of the basic necessities. Why? Because we are kept here without reason. So we are poor this way. So we are not moving. We didn't move before to make to improve our life, just to make according to the law, according to the God of Israel.
And when you went to Israel, you went, I believe, on a 1-month visa to go to Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I understand that you have a degree in technology and computer sciences from school in Ethiopia, college in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as you traveled to Israel, was it in connection with your career, and was it for computers? Was it for other things when you went to Israel for the period of time?
It's not connected with that one.
Okay.
I was graduated in Addis Ababa University with information technology before 6 years, and since then I have been working in the hospital with computer department. And the purpose that I go to Israel, went to Israelis. It was for conference. The meeting that I participated was WGS. So it was in Jerusalem, in Beit Vagan. So
what was your experience in Israel like? You were here for a short time, but what did you think?
Israel, well, I try to write the experience that I experienced in Israel in some articles. I can't explain. It's everything to me. For example, I was wishing to. I know the Beit Knesset only on the Bible, but I just go and pray and kiss the stones, the holy stones, and I wish to stay in Jerusalem, and that happened there. And I want to see many places in Israel, and that also happened. And I wish many rabbis to learn to meet. That's also happening just with your helpers. Wow, how can I explain everything? Just I was energized. I was full of energy when I came back, and I got everything from that short period of time. And
Baye, what was your feeling when you had to go back to Ethiopia?
it was difficult, but on the other way around, so I have a family here, and my friends also asked me to stay here to ask the government so that my families will move and I will remain there. But it may be possible, but I have a dream or a goal. If I do that way, some of my family will remain here and also the community. And it's another, creating another suffering. It's just opening another chapter for the suffering, for the pain. So I don't want that one to happen. So even if it is difficult to come back, but I already believed to come back before when I moved. That was my goal. If I go, I have to go legally and with my rights because no one is. It's not a favor that the government of Israel is giving us or doing us. So it is our inborn right to make Aliyah. So I want to be in Israel legally, not this way. So even if it was difficult, I was believed to come back. So I came back.
Do you experience anti-Semitism in Addis?
We move from place to place. We have no constant place. And then the owner will just someday will say, move, rent for other guy, or just we need some extra money. So we move this way, place to place for 22 years. So even we have a nickname for this. Because of this, our name is Falasha. Falasha means just someone who moves from place to place. And also, even when they just insult each other or when they just make fun of each other, they mention our name. Our lifestyle is the same and exact like our forefathers in Egypt. So they say, like, let you wonder like the matters of falashas. They say this way. And some says also when some member of the community passed away, they say, who is dying, people or falasha? They don't even consider like a pupil. And before when we moved to the capital city, it was a strange. City is strange for us. We were in the rural areas, so they used to make fun of us. They forced us to carry some some stones to just to, and we can't say no. If we can say no, they will beat us. So it was very, very difficult. And now a little bit, the intense is a little bit less, but still there is. So it is not new. Every Jew, even this one we talk in the WGS in the meeting, every Jew in the world face this thing. So even when I was when I was a small boy, before we moved to the capital city, they used to insult me. So I wished when people, the villagers will gather and say that we are not Jewish, because it was very difficult to me to carry those burdens in my young age. So, but that happened after I came. When I realized that I am a Jewish, and a Jewish is very important and very it's God chosen. So when I came here, the Jewish saying to us that we are not Jewish, and there is no pain that feels deep like who denies your identity, uh, who tells you that you are. I am, but they are telling me that I am not. Who is going to prove, me or they? So it's very difficult, and we experience these things.
I want to say thank you, Baye, for being here today from Ethiopia, and Hadassah from Jerusalem. And I'm wishing a good Shabbat for you and your families, and sending blessings that we all be together and meet in Jerusalem soon.
Thank you so much for having us, your guest. So we thank you very much, and Bezrat Hashem, later out by Yerushalayim.
Amen.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Later out.